You get first very crucial. If you win the ball, you have a chance. How's the mindset like?
It's been similar from the time we started the tournament. Yes, 3 games didn't go our way. In the middle, we had a good start, but yes, that's the clear picture from now. We need to win 2 out of 2, and that's what the mind is at.
How was the wicket like? I mean, said that, but on that condition, you couldn't totally different now. Did you all have a look at how the wicket like?
I really didn't have a look at the wicket. It was covered. Jitno came. But Chepath's always been good. Bigger ground than Dindikal. I think Dindikal is the smallest ground in the TNPL because you see high scoring games there whenever it is a high scoring venue. But completely different conditions shape off. Let's see, what happens with the batsmen and the bowlers.
The ground size also must be different. I mean, no, the MCC, the MCC is a bit low. I mean, you have to let this and the MCC. So how's it? My house is planned for it.
Well, nothing as such. We need to see which wicket you're playing at tomorrow. We'll get to know by evening. I think our manager will tell us which wicket you're playing at. But I feel Shape Up is a ground where it looks a little smaller from MCC. But if you stand inside with the bat, it's quite big. So let's see what happens tomorrow.
Good evening, Shahrukh. How do you assess the race for the playoffs so far? Obviously, just net run rate separating the second place team and the fifth place team. And do you think teams will play safer even that only a couple of matches are left and the margin of error is very thin?
See, honestly, we're not looking at other teams right now. We are in a tough spot. We've put ourselves in a tough spot after 3 losses. We had games right in our hand and we lost a couple of games. But, at present, our focus is just to win 2 games, not looking at the run rate. Anyway, our NRR is way ahead than everybody. Only if we lose badly, but if we lose, we're out of the tournament. So we just need to win 2 out of 2.
Shahrukh, just from a personal point of view as a batsman for you, how important is 3 games? Because you have like established as a role as a finisher, you have like given the hard job, you're taking the hard job. So how do you like sort of sum up your season so far and what you like to like sort of go with it?
Sorry, I didn't get your last line.
No, just wanted to know like how would you like to finish the season? Because ultimately in the scores and the big impact games, patterns makes huge difference to you, right? Personally.
Yeah, I've been getting good starts for the games that I've batted, but fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know what's the reason not being able to finish it off for the team. But no, I feel I'm 31 years old, and as a batsman, when I was in my mid-20s, it felt completely different. But now I feel the days when you bat well, and then when you come back to your hotel room, you don't see runs on the board. But the days where you bat horribly, there are runs on the board. I really not able to find what's the reason, but I think that's the sport, and batting is a very tricky thing. It's no matter how set you are, just a 1-ball game. So I'm just trying to keep my mind as fresh as possible. I have a bigger responsibility of taking care of the team. I think that's much bigger than my personal batting at the moment because we need to win 2 out of 2.
So just continuing with about your batting, you have like got accustomed to this role as a finisher in IPL and even in this match. So is it a temptation to like for you to like, okay, like let's do the easy job of like coming in early, settle yourself and then sort of go away? Is there a temptation? But again, like 33, you're again, if you said like that, you're like kind of maturing enough as a 31. Yeah, sorry, 31. I'm maturing as a batsman as well. Does it give you more responsibility as a finisher as well?
Yeah, it does. The toughest job is to play down the order. On the days where you do well, you're applauded more than anybody. But on the days that you don't do well, you're put down more than anybody. So I think you almost have seen these roles day in and day out because you follow so much of cricket. But batting up the order is comparatively a easier job. But that's my role, and that's why I'm playing the sport to take the pressure sometimes. sometimes, but my role is as such that wherever I play, there is high pressure because of the order that I come in. Sometimes I might come in at 80 for 4. Sometimes I might come in at 200 for 4 with the last 2 balls remaining. So the truth is that I really can't prepare for my role. As an opener, you know that you're going in at 0 for 0. At number 3, you'll know you're going in somewhere around the 5th to 10th over. But my role, I can't prepare as much as what the top 4 batsmen do. But I just want to be at the moment and take it as it comes.
Hi, Shahrukh. Again, on your role, like, people from outside sort of judge you by how many games you finish, but it's very difficult for a finisher to just go in and hit the first ball for a 6. And sometimes, you get starts and you don't finish. So how do you sort of deal with that have a relationship with basically things not going well as a finisher? Because playing up your is slightly easier.
Yes, the relationship that you said, I think as a finisher, I need to have good relationship with myself first, because no matter what, as a sports person, the most important thing is that what you feel about yourself. But obviously, there are days where you don't feel good. When you go and you're very scratchy, you don't feel like going for the easy balls as much as possible. But as a finisher, I don't know what to answer your question. I think it's a very tricky question, but I really have no idea what to answer. Finisher, but what do I do? That's the role I'm at, and some days it comes off, some days it doesn't. But as far as I'm taking the team through the 20 overs, I think I'm a happy man at the end of the day.
And these cohorts sort of being a bit more mature. Like, has your preparation or something changed from your 20s, early 20s, late 20s to now?
Well, no, it hasn't. Batting is something when as you get older, you try and find answers very quickly. Because when you're quite young, you need a lot of volume. But as you grow older, you understand that you've done volume for so long. In playing cricket from when I was 10 years old, so much of volume that's done. But at this point in time, I think quality is much more important. And I haven't been batting at all at practice from the day the tournament started. Before the tournament started, I was batting, but after the tournament started, I haven't been batting because I just thought that I'd keep myself fresh for the game. And yes, but that's not the reason I haven't finished games. That's what I'm going to tell you. Please don't write that on papers. But the important thing is that if I'm fresh mentally for the game, my preparation hasn't changed, but I need to keep myself in good stead.
Awesome.
So, just overall, not about your batting. You have let Tamil Nadu in the past, looking around this double split TNPL. How are the T20 batsmen and the bowlers coming up? As it improved from where they were last season? Because Tamil Nadu hasn't done well in the last couple spat tournament. So, given that, how was the gamer crop coming out and the boundary sizes and even playing it shape, what does it hit?
Yeah, you want me to answer why we didn't do well in Tamil Nadu? Or
What are we progress our last few seasons?
was it improving TRBL?
Yeah.
Yes, you see high scores. I haven't seen 200 plus scores so regularly in TNPL, but you've been seeing those numbers with the bat, and we're one team that we gave off 240 in 19.4 overs. So you know how the batting has been right now. Batting has been good, but I feel the compared to Syed Mushtaq Ali, it's quite different, obviously, and the most important thing I feel because of the rains, the ball is getting wet in Dindigul. It did get wet, so it was coming onto the bat even better than what it does generally at Dindigul. And in such a tiny ground, you know that there are going to be high scores no matter what. But Syed Mushtaq Ali and TNPL is completely different, and you know what to take out of it.
When the field is still open, I feel still don't want. For a second slot. How are the preparations like in second leg?
I mean, it's been good. I mean, we're not doing anything different, and the way we've been playing, we're pretty happy with the way it's been going, and we would like to stick to what we've been doing.
How are you playing at the moment? You're all Tamil Nadu. How do you play at the moment? How's the mindset?
It's good. I mean, it's just about having more clarity every time I step in. So, as long as I have the clarity to go in and, get accustomed to all the situations and also the formats, it's going to be easy for me.
Hi, Jagadeesan. CSG was in top 2, his second position. I wanted to finish in top.
I mean, it's very important because, when you finish at the top 2, you always have that advantage of playing that extra game. And if you're going to win the game, you get into the finals directly. So it's very important. But like Sir said, the table is wide open and, all we can do is focus on our process and try to, make sure that we play good brand of cricket.
How special is to play in Chepak?
It's always special, to be honest, because, there's a certain buzz around Chepak and it's been a while since we played in Chepak. So not only me, but I think the entire TNPL is really excited to be back in Chepak.
Good evening, gentlemen. My question is to the captain. First of all, how do you assess the playoff race so far with the margin of error being so low?
Sorry, can you say that, Adi?
How do you assess the playoff race so far? The teams are very evenly matched with a lot of teams on 6 points. And the second question, do you feel there is a disadvantage being the first 2 teams to play here? You guys have got the least rest per se after the caravan has shifted from Dindigul, or is it just part and parcel of the tournament there?
I mean, to answer the first question, I think it's very important for us to focus on our team. And, like you said, the table is wide open, but, it is also more important for us to focus on how we are going to play our game of cricket. Because, there's a certain way that we've been playing the game and we would like to play well and carry the momentum. And to answer your second, I think it's very important for us to make sure we look at what we can control. Because, this is not something which is in our control. And also, when you have the momentum, it's always good to play the matches as soon as possible. So I think it's not like we've been having a lot of rest in Dindigul as well. So we've been playing matches every alternate day. And I think, in a way, it could be good for us.
Hi, Jagadeesan. My question is basically on your own form. So could you just talk about what kind of changes you've done off-season working with our ex-Muralidhar, and have you worked on anything specific that you can tell us?
I think there's a lot of things that I've worked on. It's more mental. And, I've been working a lot with Rabanatappa. And he's always been there with me. And, during the off-season, it was just about how I'm going to play my T20 game, because there's not a lot of changes that you need to do with your technical aspect. You just have to learn some. But at the same time, it's just very important for you to understand how you need to approach a game. And like I said, it's about the clarity as to how you want to look at how you want to go about the game.
Hi, Jagadeesan. So the first 2 games didn't go in CSG's favor, but you are coming off with a 3-game winning streak. What were some of the aspects that you had improved throughout the last 3 games? And what are the aspects that you think you still have to improve going into the Japa play?
I mean, I think every game we've been trying to improve as a unit. And, first 2 games we didn't win. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we played bad cricket. We've been playing good, and result is something which we genuinely believe it's uncontrollable. And all we try to do is stay in the present and try to do the controllables. And result was only the byproduct of how we approached and we play.
So yeah, you just mentioned about working with Uthappa, and we see slightly you have opened up your shoulders when you play T20s. So just on that, because it's not easy, right? Because you went to Sri Lanka, played a long format game, come play this, and then again you'll go back to Leap Trophy. It's not easy to just it looks easy like opening the shoulders, just close the shoulders, but it's not easy, right? So could you just because you would seem to a player who doesn't want to lie on a compromise on your important prospects as well. So just on that, without affecting your pot.
To put that in simple words, I'm okay to accept failure. The moment I'm not able to accept failure, and if I feel like, I'm not doing well enough, it becomes very difficult for me to express myself. So, it is very important for me to accept failures, because in this format, there could be a lot of failures. But, and like I said, in this format, your risk percentage is definitely higher than your red ball. And if you're not willing to do that, you can never express yourself. So I think that's one change which I've done. And it's okay to fail.
Last season you sort of played in the middle order, then again going back opening. Does it also sort of help you, like sort of it's a different role, completely contrasting with it?
Definitely, I think it has helped me a lot, because, in TNPL I played middle order, and then in Mustaq Ali I played middle order. And later when I got selected for India, I got 100 over there. So that 100 gave me a lot of confidence, and that's when I thought of coming back to being an opening batsman.
Why? Suddenly you.
Because, we obviously see a lot of people at the higher stages who are hooked opening, and the way they go about their own game and stuff, So I feel, me as an individual, people know that I'm an opener. So if I could bring that extra aspect into the game where you can, be more explosive in the middle, it's going to help my cause. And at the same time, if I can do it for the team, it's going to do a good deed. And when I was there in the India, I said I was not in middle order batsman. I was still in opening. So I feel I'm looked upon as an opener. So it's only right for me to be an opener again.
Hi, Jaggi. And again, you spoke about sort of embracing that failure. So how do you sort of have that relationship with failure? Because like people, you're a senior player of Cap Tamil Nadu. People expect a lot out of you, but then when things don't go your way, so how do you sort of have that relationship with failure?
I mean, I think the relationship with failure deeply comes from the love for the game, because, I genuinely believe that I start playing the game because I love the sport. And as you go on this professional journey, you stop enjoying the sport as it is, thinking about your selections, thinking about your failures and whatnot. So I think it was very important for me to, love the game, like how I want to play, because, I started playing the game in my own terms, and, that's the way I want to always play. Along the way, somewhere, everybody gets lost looking at the professionalism of others and trying to compete with others. But in the end, it is just about, having faith in yourself and trusting your own instincts in your process.
And you sort of reference upon the India A game as well. You've been in red ball, and I believe there was also 100 against USA in that game in Mumbai. So was that the game you referenced which gave you confidence to go back to the top? Could you just talk us about that?
Yeah, definitely that gave a lot of confidence, because, obviously everybody aspires to play for India, and me personally, I did not even expect that I'm going to get my 100 for India in a T20 game. Because, when things happen that way, it gives you a lot of momentum to your own batting, and, gives you a lot of confidence.